So, Battlefield 1 has been out for a week now, and while I've enjoyed every moment of it, it goes without saying that there is always its problems, whether it be minor or major. So in this video, I'll be talking about the in-depth analysis of the game's features and gameplay, and talk about the good and the bad. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the issues and what I think could be improved. First, let's start with the menu screen and loading. A thing I've noticed is whenever a friend's in the game and I want to join their server, the menu doesn't show the button prompt for me to join them so I have to join them from the PlayStation friends list, which can get very annoying and at times very glitchy. Next up, the loading time even. The loading time on servers can be very, 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 very long. This of course could be the connection, but it still is very annoying. Also, speaking of loading screens, occasionally when I would click to change a medal, it doesn't let me exit out of the screen, which actually forces me to quit the game, which can also get very, very irritating. But it's just tiny things like these that could be fixed. Now, everyone's favourite battle packs. First, I've got a feeling they kind of need to make it easier for them to be unlocked. It just is too hard. So you no longer get battle packs for ranking up. Instead, you get awarded at the end of the game. The problem is people don't know how to get them. However, I have found a little way to get them out pretty easily. After joining a server, all you have to do is get a kill with all classes, but this excludes the tanker, cavalry, pilot, and all the elite classes. Doing this will usually get you a battle pack, but I was reading on the forums and it's if you're very good at the game. So I'm guessing they've changed that to top 5. But however, I think DICE need to make an easier way to get them. Now, everyone's favourite part, the gameplay. Starting off the deployment screens, most times when I'm in changing my class, the guns like fade out and then you can't actually interact, so you have to quit out of the screen and go back in. It's a small thing, but it could do with some improvement and make the game a lot better. I've also noticed that the time it takes you to spawn in is increased from Battlefield 4. So I find myself sometimes waiting for 15 seconds, which I think they've toned down a bit in the recent patch, but it's still a very long thing. Next, the destruction. It's awesome. Okay, I'll just start off with that. I love the fact that you can blow any house open. However, there have been times where the destruction hasn't synced to my game, leading to some glitches and unnecessary deaths. There have been many times where I would just die because there isn't actually a door there. I know this game just came out and there's bound to be bugs, but fixing these would make it a whole lot better. I've also noticed that whenever I want to spawn on a horse, tank or plane at the very beginning of the game, or even sometimes halfway through the game, and someone gets in the vehicle before me, I'll spawn with the kit in my hand. So for example, as a pilot, I'll be actually falling out of bounds with my parachute, or if I spawn on like the horse, I'll be spawning but I'll only have his gear, but I won't actually have the horse itself. And last of the negative stuff is lag. This of course, again, could be my internet, but I at least have a couple of lag spikes in the game. I think they've actually fixed a tiny bit of it, but it can get very annoying and it's just an everyday thing. Okay, enough of the negative stuff and into the real great parts of the game. First off, this game is beautiful. From the hills of Monte Grappa to the halls of even Ballroom Blitz, it's just gorgeous. I mean, the level of love that's been put into the game. Oh, okay, sorry, I just got carried away. Anyway, let's start with the new features. Finally, your soldiers can climb walls. This is a huge step up from the hurdle jumping soldiers of Battlefield 4. And I have no idea why this feature wasn't added earlier. I mean, why? Why could they just jump over hurdles only? Anyway, the weapons. You can tell DICE have done a lot of research on the era of World War I. Every gun feels unique and it actually feels like you're in the war. Now on topic of weapons, just a short note. I love the little clip that's shown next to your, like, the gadgets. And it's just a really nice idea, and I hope to see that like play out in other Battlefield games as well. Now, environment. I absolutely love the fact they can just go in every building. It adds a whole bunch of realism, and I love it. Now I just have to mention the campaign. Oh my god, it's awesome. So far the missions have been really engaging, and there's a lot of connection with the characters. Then in, say, Battlefield 4's Mute Sergeant Wrecker, which, I know, the only reason I played that campaign was just to grind and get guns for the multiplayer. The gameplay was fluent and brutal, and it made you feel like this for the soldiers. And lastly, the vehicles. The vehicles in this game are very fun. For example, the planes. In Battlefield 4, the jets were just too fast on the small maps, and you couldn't get any kills on infantry. But in this game, the planes are slower and a lot more easier to fly and get kills, which adds just a bit more fun, because in Battlefield 4 I never saw myself getting in planes unless I wanted to get to the top of a building or whatever. But all up, Battlefield 1 is an amazing, well-made game. There are more features that I could have mentioned, but these are the ones that stood out for me. Bugs aside, this is probably my favourite multiplayer game of all time, and if you're thinking of getting this game, I'd say it's probably one of my favourite in the franchise and makes a great Friday night game. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. As of now, all bugs mentioned in this game are present. But anyway, comment below if there's anything I missed, anything you guys like, anything you guys dislike. And I'll see you guys on the battlefield.